Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eddie Marcus, spokesman and advocate of basic human rights for all people. Got a wonderful message for you today, coming to you live from station WEBM. Now that's wonderful, Eddie B. Marcus, operating smack down from the top of the sky, right to wherever you are, and hoping that this message will overcome you, engulf you, like the blood that's flowing through your veins. And when it is over, I'm hoping that you will either like, comment, or subscribe. This message today is not for the weak of heart. In fact, I ask you not to listen to this message, because this message will F you up. First of all, I want to remind you that truth is something that is foreign to mostly everybody. Why? Because the only thing that's flowing rampant like the rain out of the sky are lies. And people get wet with the rain. They get wet with the lies. This message is not that. It's dry and it's the truth. I had a young man to stop by my house once to say, Eddie, I want to watch one of your videos. And having watched it, he said to me, you got a wonderful message, but you got to pull your glasses off. You got to pull your shades off. Let the people see your eyes, because in your eyes lies the truth. Well, I must say, ladies and gentlemen, I have no trouble pulling off the shades, but I do need a few glasses every now and then just to see those words. As you can tell, I've been living a long time, and it is no secret that when you live a long time, oftentimes those precious gifts that you have starts falling apart, and you might need some assistance. But thank God Almighty that that assistance is made available to those who can't access it. What I really want to say to you, ladies and gentlemen, is this. The Trump people, let me start off by saying the Trump people. They know that a lot of things that Trump does sets those who are not Trumpers off. His actions just drive them wild. And they do all kinds of things. But the Trumpeters, they love it. They love it to the max. Now, on the other hand, there are those who are not Trumpeters. They got their own actions. And when they exercise that, it just tears the Trumpeters up. Even when they protest against the Trumpeters, it just blows their minds. Now, on either side, as Trump would say, they are good people on either side. But I ask you this, which group have the people that is good for both sides, that is workable for both sides, that could satisfy both sides? And I say to you, neither. Why? Because they are absent love. They have no understanding of what love truly is about. Now I ask you this. There was once a man, and this man was a lover of the people and a lover of God. But he was called out by God to deliver a message. And he was associated with the organizational church, Pentecostal. Now, he wasn't called by the Pentecostal church to deliver messages or to express truth according to the will of God, but he was associated with. And one day, the pastor of this particular church called him aside and said, brother, you are a good talker, and people listen to you, but you don't say what we say. And since you don't, I'm going to have to sit you down. Now that brother thought that was the most fantastic, beautiful, gracious gift that he had ever received. To him, it was a message from the almighty power that you can't see, you can't touch, you can't feel, saying that it has nothing but appreciation for the services, the dedication, and the commitment of this one who was so rejected by the organized church that they wanted to sit him down. Now, let me say to you, we all know that parents love their children. No doubt. It doesn't matter whether you have 21 child or 21 children. You love them all. And you would think it would be negligent, irresponsible, and low down and ugly if out of that 21 you chose some that you love the most, some that you loved a little less, and some that you even loved less. So who would want to be a part of a family like that? You know what that is. Well, that is a representation of the society that we have today. We are really one family. We all came from one. But we treat each other that way. We allow ourselves to be segregated that way. And so we have concluded that God operates that way, when the truth is God does not operate that way. What we have here in the world today is a group that have been created by God, a God who knows their vulnerabilities, a God who has set up and designed a way for them to overcome those vulnerabilities and become perfect, beautiful, wonderful, flourish children of God by existing in a garden that challenges them every day in every sort of way to become just that, children of God. When they come onto the earth, some people say that they're precious babies, they're without sin, but they have a slate, a clean slate, ready to be molded into whatever the society is. If the society is corrupt, those babies will be corrupt. If society is perfect, those babies will be perfect. And God has also designed wherein if we are totally corrupt, every now and then, God would speak in such a way that somebody, someone, maybe just one, could hear the voice of God. And with that message, with that understanding, will stand before the people in the middle of hell and express God. Not that those will believe him, not that others will accept him, but that one represents the authenticity of truth, the requirement of truth, and the dedication of truth that allows people to mature to that state for which they have been designed to become wonderful, beautiful, flourish children of the Almighty God. I stand before you today. My family, whom I love so well, prepared themselves and got dressed to go to another church to listen to someone else talk about God. Not me, somebody else. And they've been doing this ever since we have been a family. I have my oldest child in this particular family that's 33 years old. And for 33 years, this has been the process. I speak, they go somewhere else, someplace else to listen to others. So my children, who have been taken out by my wife to hear others, have no respect for me when it comes down to the truth or comes down to my method. No respect whatsoever. Why? Because they have been trained. They've been indoctrinated to do the traditional way. But why does my wife do this? Because she's been trained. She's been indoctrinated to follow another course. They don't understand what's going on because the people who taught them did not and do not understand. And yet it leaves me where I am right here today before you alone. Why am I so excited about that? Because somewhere I heard that straight is the way and narrow is the gate that leads to life, and few there be that find it. I heard somewhere that broad is the way and wide is the gate that leads to destruction, and many there be that find it. And so, though I'm here alone, I am thrilled packed that I have the evidence of love because I'm constantly doing it, not on my behalf, not on God's behalf, but for your behalf, even though you won't listen. I have that evidence. I'm not angry. I'm disappointed that my family walks this way, but I understand why. And so I accept it as it is. It's a wonderful thing, ladies and gentlemen. You might ask yourself many times, why is the world so corrupt as it is? Well, somewhere I heard that Darwin had a theory of evolution that says men were not made by God, but they came as an evolutionary process. An evolution that even came to the point where men evolved from apes. An ape, that men, by evolving from apes and animals, are barbaric. And they move according to the strength, what they say, the might. Those who are able to, under various circumstances, to overcome others, to withstand opposition. And so we have what we have here today. Now, why do I say that you shouldn't listen to this message? Well, I want to say this to you. All of this time, since the beginning to now, there have been many people that have come, many people that have gone. But I want to say to you that all of the people in America, and I guess elsewhere, I'm not over there, but based upon the conduct and the outcomes of their systems, they do not believe in the Bible. In America, we hear the Bible, talk about the Bible, study the Bible. We do not, as Americans, believe in the Bible. We do not, as Christians and Catholics, believe in the Bible. We do not believe in the message of Jesus Christ. I didn't say Jesus Christ. I said the message of Jesus Christ. We do not believe in Dr. Martin Luther King and his message. We don't believe in that. We don't believe in the message of John F. Kennedy. We don't believe in that. If we believe in the Bible, then we would pay attention to the message of Jesus Christ. And if we believe that, we would act according to the message of Jesus Christ. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. We would have faith that though we live in hell, if we rejected hell and allowed hell to kill us, the almighty power that we can't see, can't touch, can't feel will kill us. But that would be the evidence of our faith. And because of our evidence, the almighty power would see us, accept us, receive us, and cause us in the twinkling of an eye to rise again. And we would live. Because it means that we would have learned the lesson of God and God's way and God's love above all of what we have experienced in our lives every day. That's the evidence. If we believed in the message of Dr. Martin Luther King, we wouldn't be building a statue to Dr. King, some stone statue set up somewhere in D.C. We would be walking according to the message, the dictates of Dr. Martin Luther King, of a man who had walked through all of this hell, got up on a mountaintop, looked over and saw the promised land, and said that we as a people would get to the promised land. We would be walking according to those dictates. We built a statue, and we continue to bow down to the devil, continue to bow down to Satan. John F. Kennedy, the President of the United States, recognized what was happening in America, said that America was being controlled by a conglomerate that's somewhere hiding, who make decisions, I'm paraphrasing, in the middle of the night when you have nothing to say about it. Rather than giving you the opportunity to discuss and debate, they trick and buy your politicians who would see that things got through. He even told you about the economic situation of how you were being ripped off by the Federal Reserves and by taxation and all of this. Told you that. And for that, he was killed. But we don't pay attention to that. We act like he didn't say a thing. Didn't mean anything. The guy who replaced him went around and signed the executive order that wiped away everything he was doing. And we as a nation of people continue to walk in darkness. Out of all this that we have before us, out of all that has been given to us, we still put on our clothes and walk to some church to somebody to tell us a story, pay our tithes and offering, and say that we understand God. Oh yes, I don't want to take away, there are good people, as Donald Trump would say, amongst all of you. There are good people amongst all of you. But which group is sufficient to satisfy the total? Which group is sufficient to satisfy all? Neither. Why? Because they are absent love. Now it is God's love that is going to allow and is allowing you, the people, to live here in this hell, giving you the opportunity to grow up, to mature, to have a renewing of your mind, to start acting like you were children of the Almighty God with power, able to dictate the purity of life. It is God's love that allows that to happen. And like the parent who would look after all of their children, not separate them, not find them at different levels and different classes as we've done here in America, would save them all. Yes, many of them might go astray, but the door is always open, never closed. All you got to do is learn what it takes to come back over there and receive the love, and you are accepted. Now I say that to say this. We have heard it said that everything that God created was good. Nothing was bad. So even Satan, even the devil, if the devil was made to be your resistance, if the devil was made to be your arbitrary, if the devil was made to be there to cause all the hell that you can go through for the purpose of giving you an opportunity to mature, then the devil is doing the devil's job for which the devil was created. Now on the other hand, if the devil was like the world, just made up his mind that it wanted to defy God and be God, just like the world. If the devil was doing that, then the devil, the Satan and Lucifer, whoever you want to call it, had the authority to do that. And as long as the devil stay out there on that devilish path, the devil will be out there. But all the devil got to do, my friends, have a renewing of the mind, change his evil ways, and the door of love is ready to receive even Lucifer, even Satan, even the devil back into the fold when they walk according to the dictates of love. That's God. Now what will it take for America to turn around? I'm giving you a message today. I ask you not to watch it. I'm hoping that because I ask you not to, you might be curious enough to turn it on and watch it. Because I know you. And I know what's going to happen in America. In America, what we call this God-fearing nation, the proudest nation on the face of the earth. No nation has ever existed that's more commendable than this almighty United States of America. But what is it going to take for America to mature to the sense for which God has wanted the people to recognize? It's going to take this, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to take all of the tornadoes. It's going to take all of the hurricanes. It's going to take all of the floods. It's going to take all of the tsunamis, all of the earthquakes, all of the volcanoes. It's going to take all of the lying, the cheating, the stealing, the killing, the terrorism, and the wars. It's going to take all the droughts. It's going to take all the wildfires to bring America to its knees. Because America will try any and everything before America tries God. Now, why will it do that? Because everything wants to live. Everyone wants to survive. And everyone that has stepped out in the name of love, everyone that has stepped out by the power of God has been killed. Men don't understand. Even when Jesus rose from the dead, even when the story, if you don't believe in Jesus, of Jesus rising from the dead as a representation of what it means to follow God. You will claim it, but you don't believe it. Because you do everything you possibly can to stay away from it. There are those who have followed it, and they followed the same line that Jesus did. They were murdered. They were killed because evil says there's no place for you here. And that's when God accepts you as my good and faithful servant, a job well done. You stood for righteousness in the middle of hell. And hell did not accept it. There were not enough individuals in hell blessing your God-given work. Not knowing what it really meant, they rejected you. They went along with the government, even when the government was to kill you. Even if they didn't like it, they weren't going to resist it. So it's going to take all of that to bring America to its knees. And bringing America to its knees will not be sufficient. Because even then, America will accept a new world order that will put them totally in bondage forever. Unless that bondage put the final seal on it and wake them up. And they look for something else because they would have tried everything, everyone they could imagine. They would have given it a try. And there's nothing left. Nothing left but perhaps a spirit that you can't see. You can't touch it. You can't feel. And you bow down on your knees and say, God, if you're alive, please forgive me and help me. And you'll mean it. Because there's nothing else. And only then will America be vindicated. Only then will America be saved. And all these generations of people dying, you saying they're up there with God, up there in their heaven and earth. No, they're not. I don't know where they're at. They could be entering in and again through the births of new babies. Some of them being aborted. Some of them coming back with a new slate, a clean slate that's being reprogrammed with what they've been living all along. I can say, though, that many of them who come back, many of them have retained an understanding of some of the hell they've gone through before. And they may be, not for sure, may be different citizens. They may be good citizens. But good is not love. Good is just a little different than the worst. It's not love. Love grows up. Love is a door that's open. Love is a way of walking, a way of talking. Love is giving up on all of this for something that's better. Doesn't mean that you shouldn't desire those survival things like food and clothing and shelter and education and a job and all other amenities of life. That is the desire of every individual. That's the kind of stuff that heaven is made of. But heaven is made of peace. You have this stuff in prosperity. You have this stuff in joyness of life. Today in Minnesota, you got a rally going on for a young man that was murdered the other day by a cop. You got another rally going on for people who are talking about the pipeline. You got another rally going on for wages. You got rallies all over everywhere. You got rallies about people at the borders. Rally, 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 rally. How far can you stretch yourself? Saying, and every time you do it, you're saying that this rally today is more important than that rally. Or this rally tomorrow is more important than the rally tomorrow. What you're actually saying is that you don't understand love. Because if you understood love, every rally matters. And you don't have to stretch yourself out for all of these different concerns. You will be stretched like that movie on TV. I can't think of what a woman stretches all the time. Oh man, Incredibles, yeah. Hey, you can't stretch yourself like that. I mean, you can try, but you're not going to accomplish anything. Why not take the simple road? The simple road is that this system of evil, this system of hate, this system of Satan, devil, Lucifer, of evil is not good. It's not love. And we should change it. Change it to what? To thy will being done on earth as it is in heaven. I know you rejected that, but it doesn't take you. All you have to do is be straight. And even that narrow gate can receive you all if you walk the straight line of love. Now this is Marcus. I've asked the people of the state of Minnesota to make me the next senator. Having given you this message and stating that this is the message that I will carry forward for the people of the state of Minnesota, I don't think I get 10 votes. I don't even believe my own family. I don't believe my own in-laws will vote for me. Let alone trying to put me in a position to run for president of the United States. They'd rather have Donald Trump any day than to have one who specifically stood up for peace and prosperity. They'd rather have one worse than Donald Trump any day than to have one speaking up for the benefits and the life of best blessings and the human rights and the birthrights of every individual on earth. Why? Because they've learned to trust money rather than doing unto others as you'd have others to do unto you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to slow it down right now because I have said a mouthful and everything I have said to you today is true. I have to wait until my family leaves because they don't want to hear this. And I'm getting through with it before they come back. You see, because they are so against what I'm telling you. They don't understand it. And they're so for what they are just will be coming from, till it's just a vibe that enters in when they come in, that just messes up everything. I used to say myself, if people started listening to me and the government got upset at me and tried to destroy my family to shut me up, they would be doing themselves a great injustice, because you could bet your last money they will stand with the state 1,000 times before they stand with me. The state will not kill them. Standing with me will get them killed, and they will turn their backs on that every day, just like you would. And you cannot excuse it unless you're born again, unless you've had the renewing of your mind, unless you know that there is a God and it's not man. And you put your faith and trust in God, but not just in words, but in deed, by standing up for a system that represents thy will being done on earth as it is in heaven. And you reject anything, any democracy, any capitalistic system, any communist, any whatever, anything that will come against thy will being done on earth as it is in heaven, you will stand against it. And it will kill you unless the masses. Now, where are the masses going to stand up? No, the masses are not going to stand up. So in essence, what I'm saying to you is that once you are filled with love, you will know it, because you will stand up and resist everything else that'll kill you. Now, am I saying that to be a lover, to be born again, means you're going to die? In essence, yes. Yes. Yes, it means you're going to die. Because you're going to put righteousness above your job, which means you won't have a job. You're going to put righteousness above your house, which means you won't have a home. You're going to put righteousness above your transportation, your car, which means You won't have transportation. You won't have a car. You won't be an actor. You won't be a basketball player, football player. You won't be an engineer. Why? Because these things right now are working for Satan. They're not working for God. You say, what's the evidence? Look at all the evil in the world. And nothing you're doing is combating that. Even your legislators are not combating that. Even the Supreme Court is not combating that. So you're going to have to turn your back on all of this if you ever wake up. You know when you're in a dream and that nightmare gets you, maybe if you're white, some black people might be chasing you. If you're trying to live an okay life, then a gangbanger might be facing you, running, chasing you. And you're just running for your life, or some witch might come and on a broom and grab you by your shirt collar and take you way up in the sky to turn your butt loose and drop you. And all of a sudden you wake up. It's the sweetest feeling you could ever find. It's that, whoo, you woke up. But what about if you're having a dream and everything is wonderful? There's peace there. You are prosperous in your life. Everybody's gay, gayest, and everybody's just rejoicing. And then you wake up. You almost hate. Why the hell did someone have to wake you up? Well, see, that's the difference in the two. Choose, my friends, this day, which one is for you. Until next time, this is Eddie Marcus, spokesman and advocate for God, for love, for you. Say bye-bye.